All right, so that's a wrap on week one. I didn't post nearly as many updates as I thought I would. I've been coming home pretty much going straight to bed or spacing out on this couch or playing video games or something. But 5 days in, we got rained out a little bit on Tuesday, which was good because I was worn thin, worn to the bone. I was hurting in places I didn't know could hurt. It was an interesting first day for sure. Scared me a little bit at first because I didn't do anything related to my field of carpentry, and I gotta say at the end of the week I had one day where I did some carpentry. I've got the purple thumb to prove it, but for the most part, I'd say it is a good week. It's a good week. We're working 48-hour weeks right now, so 4 10s Monday through Thursday, and then Friday we're supposed to work an 8 hour. Since we got rained out on Tuesday, we worked a 10 hour today, and they're gonna be picking up on Saturdays sometime soon. It sounds like sooner rather than later. So I'm not sure if we're gonna uh, do that within the next coming weeks or month. We'll find out. The trailer is not nearly as big of a problem as I thought it would be living in this small of a space. I'm so dang busy. I come home and other than eat dinner and sit on this couch, I don't really do much in here, which I was surprised by. Also, day one, never got told a schedule before showing up, so I busted my butt for 8 hours. I was working harder than I have ever worked before, just trying to really, show out is probably the correct word, and be like, hey, I deserve to be here. Well, my head comes up. I'm looking around. It's been 8 hours. Nobody's moving. Nobody's heading towards the trucks. Nothing. I figure, all right, we'll probably just wrap a few things up. Nah. Nope. 2 more hours, and I really not prepared myself to work an additional 2 hours. I was gassed is probably the correct word. But Tuesday, we got rained on at multiple points throughout the day, so we ended up only working 8.5 hours and kind of hiding from the rain for a chunk of the day, which was much appreciated. Wednesday, I finally got to do some carpentry. I was just helping expand some form boards and putting kickers in and whatnot, which I was happy to do, happy to learn. There are two guys that I work with that speak English. Everybody else, they speak as much English as I speak Spanish, probably less. So I'm normally just a chatty man. I run my mouth all day long to anybody that'll listen, and well, most of my days I'm standing there quiet and do the occasional point and nod and laugh. There's not really much going on, so I've probably taken that out on the other people in my life a little bit too much. Been on the phone constantly, just trying to call people and talk to them, not at work, but going to and fro work, calling people a lot. Let's see what else. But Wednesday, yep, expanded some form boards. We're putting in some serious foundation work for this building going in. I don't know if it's a plant or what it is, but they're expanding supposedly 4 more buildings. So we got quite a lot of work ahead of us. I've met a good amount of the people on the work site, especially the people I'm going to be working with constantly. My foreman is a pretty cool dude. Really fair guy, which I was surprised by. Everyone's been rather pleasant, which shocked me. I kind of assumed, based on preconceived notions and other things that I'd heard, that the job site is going to be a pretty rough place to be, and so far, people are polite, they're kind. I almost got a bump and a bruise. What was it? It had been Thursday. I almost had a gravel bucket that's being craned over our heads. I almost got pinched in between it and the wall, and everybody immediately was like checking on me, making sure I was okay, which I was shocked by. I kind of figured it was like, if you're hurt, keep your mouth shut and move on with your day. I have blisters in strange places. I didn't know you could get a blister on your fingernail, or not your fingernail, but your tip of your fingerprint. It's in the shape of a boot, if anyone cares. But it's been a real interesting week. Today was good. I've been really rolling with the finishers, the concrete finishers. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday. I've been with them, and we've just been bringing some gravel up the plane so we can get the forms put on top of that, and then the rebar inside the forms for concrete. Thursday we poured concrete. I do not have a pair of rubber boots yet, which was a problem. I got pulled aside from the concrete and told to just go deal with the concrete trucks and have them backing in and out. And that wasn't too bad, but Thursday I felt pretty bad. I was the only guy that wasn't covered in concrete and sweating and just working his tail off. I don't like watching other people work. It makes me feel like I'm not doing my job. But I was doing everything I was supposed to. There's a lot more standing around than I thought. As long as somebody's not waiting on you and you're waiting on somebody, you just stand there. Nobody cares. My superintendent has been 2 feet behind me, and 4 feet up, but 2 feet behind me, and doesn't care that we're standing there waiting on something. That shocked me. I figured there was always keep busy, which, yes, if you've got something you can't be doing, you're expected to be busy. But if the task at hand is being held up by somebody else, y'all just wait. Just keep on waiting. They use equipment a lot more than I thought they would. I kind of figured, the new apprentice would be the equipment when the equipment wasn't available, but they tell you, hey, no, whoa, put that down, don't be doing that, and no need to get in there with a shovel. We'll get a excavator over here and have a good go at it. The concrete finishers. I've been hanging out with Mr. Gabriel and Mr. Rowland for the past couple of days there, and I know they're tired of me talking. Mr. Rowland speaks English, so he and I talk a lot, and Gabriel is bilingual, so we talk a lot. And they're in their 50s. There's some gentlemen that I could really sit down and have a beer with, or whatever, just to listen to them talk and tell about their life stories. They're cool guys. I know they're doing their best to be patient with me. I'm learning. They're really helping me out, and as much as they say I'm helping them out, I'm not convinced. But they've been cool guys. Let's see what else. I already told you my foreman's pretty cool. My superintendent seems like a real cool guy, and they're all super fair. I did, by the way, he did pick me out of the roll call this morning to lead morning stretches. So, you want to stretch out, I'm your guy. Let's see. I'm going to be in my new guy vest for 90 days. 90 work days, not 90 days since employment. I checked. And you got to wear the Type 2 hard hats. I can't get over the chin strap. I'm going to have to get over that. And I finally got a different pair of safety glasses, so I don't have to wear the ones that are provided by the company. My gloves. I blew out my gloves in a week. They've already got holes right here and down the front of them. So apparently they last most people about 2 weeks, maybe a month if you're not very busy. But I guess Safety Man and I are going to get real acquainted because they make you swap them out with them. So I can't just go get another pair of gloves, and they expect you to have their gloves. So I got to go up to him probably weekly now and swap out gloves. I was hopefully just not prepared for this week. I just wasn't. I didn't know what to bring, what to do, how it was going to go, what time. Other than I was told to show up at 6:30. But other than that, that's all I knew. I've had no idea what's going on. I'd say today it finally started to click a little bit. I get the idea of what we're doing. And I took enough pictures that I think I could walk most people through what we're doing. Now, I can go over the broad spectrum of what we're doing. If you ask me finite details and whatnot, I'm going to go, no habla. I don't know. I'm also picking up on Spanish. I did get a nickname. It's Güero, which I have been told, I have not confirmed, just means white, like gringo. They're just calling me white boy, which is pretty funny. The little bit of Spanish I do speak occasionally surprises some of the guys I work with, because they'll be talking and someone will crack a joke and I'll giggle and they'll, ¿hablas español? I'm like, a little bit. But They're cool guys. It turns out the dude I was with on Monday, Vicente, my foreman calls him Maestro because he's just singing, dancing, whistling all the time. I have got to learn to tune out the whistling. These guys, they love to whistle apparently, just randomly. Not so much a tune, but just they'll let out an occasional note, like real high pitch. And every time I am looking up, trying to figure out what's going on because somebody's whistling, right? Nope, they're just making noise for the sake of making noise, which I know they're starting to get a kick out of. That every time they whistle, you can see Güero over there. What the hell is going on? But starting to learn to tune that out. I got on a lull today and kind of embarrassed myself. I've been on one before, but not one of this size. And of course, the safety man over the whole job site, not the intern that I've been dealing with for the most part, is standing right there with me, and he starts giving me directions, having me hold up, stop, and like, what are you doing, and all this stuff. So, oops. But didn't break anything, didn't hurt anybody, and I got done what needed done. So we'll call it good. Good's probably not the right word. Okay. We'll call it okay. Yeah. See, that's about it. All my tools are wrong. All the tools I brought are wrong. And I can't use the tape measure quite like I thought I could. I'm used to the kind of carpentry where you stretch your tape, you get your measurement, you take note of said measurement, you put your tape back down. Now you put it in your tool bag, which is weird. I'm used to just setting it down in my workspace. And you go over to the saw and you make a cut, right? Or you know what your measurement is and you just make a little hash right there, but I'm not covered up in a million things, so I've got both my hands. I'm able to do what I'm doing. Not here. I've got to be quick, accurate, and speak Spanish all at the same time. And brother, it is a good thing that they only had me working with them for a day. As much as I enjoyed it, I really enjoyed the work that we were doing. I'm slow, and they are definitely waiting on me at times, which I know as an apprentice, you don't want them waiting on you. At one point, they asked me if I'd been to the carpentry school. That's actually not how that went. One guy asked the guy that speaks English, Christian, he asked him, hey, has he been to the carpentry school? Talking about me. And Christian asks me, and I say, no. Is it that obvious? And they both just look at me deadpan and go, yeah. So I'm obviously a little slow at this, but I mean, I'm an apprentice. I'm not worried about being, God's gift to carpentry on my first week, especially my first day swinging a hammer and getting paid for it. So we'll see how it goes. They gave me some tips and things to figure out in front of all the foremen and two supers. My foreman asked me if I had a chalk line, and my unfortunate answer was no, sir. And one of the other foremen, everybody kind of stopped when they heard me say no and kind of had this confused look on their face. One of the other foremen piped up and said, that's not a good answer. That's never a good answer. And they all kind of chuckled and went about their day. And I'm sitting over there like, oh, I mess up. So I took a nail and I wrapped a bit of twine around it. No more than like 10 feet. But, I mean, if I'm stretching the line, something's wrong. But, yeah, so far so good. I've run the numbers on how my pay is going to be. And that'll help you get over a lot. I'll tell you what, that'll help you get over a lot. I'm looking forward to Tuesday. That's when that check hits. I'm going to go get me a steak. I've been eating bologna sandwiches and leftovers for a week now, which, it's not normally that bad. It's not an issue unless it's your only option. And I didn't enjoy that. I spent money I shouldn't have. I went out and got Taco Bell the other day. So I was like, man, I gotta eat something familiar here that isn't room temperature bologna and cheese. Of course, I don't have any mayonnaise or mustard or condiments of any kind, so my sandwich has been bologna and cheese, and I've been eating chips. That's it. That's been, diet of champions. Of course, there's beer in the fridge. I found money for that. Shocker. But it's been a good time. It's been a good time and a horrible time all at the same time. I hope it continues. We'll put it that way. I think this is going to go somewhere. I really do. I think once I figure out how to do my job and I can not be focusing so much on how to do my job and I can return to the politics of being in a workplace, I think there's definite room to grow here. And that's the first time I've really seen that in my life. I was immediately outed as knowing the owner of the company's family. This is like a $1 billion corporation, and I happen to know the owner, not in a personal way, but if he saw me, he'd ask how I was doing and about my mom and my brother, because they both worked for him before too. In fact, when I type in my last name in the employee check-in in the morning, my little brother pops up as the first employee. And my email for the company has been bumped down because he was there first. So, my younger brother is technically a more senior employee than I am, other than he doesn't work there anymore, so I've got that. But yeah, man, everything seems to be going well. I've got this 1.5-hour drive ahead of me, so I can go home and see my lady. I miss her dearly, and my dog. I didn't think I was gonna miss that dog as much as I do. She's driving me crazy before we left, but I miss the dog, which is weird. I don't know. That's about all I got for y'all. See you on the flip.